Okay. In the last sessions, now we have completed, basically we have completed all the palette functions and our operations here. Okay. Uh, Last session we saw a little bit about Groovy, like this is a language and this is something scripting or coding that we need to do uh, during our developments. Okay. So today we will see a little more deep into the Groovy. We will see the basic templates or the basic concepts that we need to see, that we need to know when we are going to be using Groovy in our scenarios. Okay, so we'll jump directly to the Groovy here. Okay, so just give me a second. Okay, now this is a programming language. So every programming language has its own syntax, it has its own semantics, structure, classes, and there's many other things. Here, this Groovy is based on the Java. So it is Java friendly. So basically, most of its syntaxes are similar to Java, but not exactly like Java. Okay. So for most of the programming languages, there's always one main function. Okay. So whenever you start writing your code, this main function, this main function acts as your starting point of execution. For example, if you want to start execution for something, there should be some start point, there should be some fixed start point that the system should know, okay, I have to start executing from here. That is what a main method is. Okay. We need this in Groovy. We don't need this in our CPI. So for now, you can just remember this, that there's something called a main method, and that is why this method is here. Okay. Apart from that, all the objects, all the functions, all the methods, functions are always encapsulated inside a single class. Okay. Now, these are all technical terms, and if you don't know them yet, it is fine for now. Okay. Try to go through them at later point of time as well. Okay. So we'll start with the simple basics. Okay. Now, uh, let's say you have to do addition of two numbers. Okay. So you need to know what type of data you are getting. So you would be getting two numbers. Those numbers can be integers, that can be long. Apart from that, you could also work with strings. So these things, the things that I'm talking about, like this can be number, this can be integers, long, string. These are called as data types. So to handle data types, we have some specific data types here. So int variable is equals to, so what we need, okay, we again use something called as variables here. Okay, variables are the containers or the placeholders for which the values can change according to your requirement, according to your condition. Okay, then what kind of value will be stored is defined by this data type. Yeah, how do you defining a variable here is, data type and variable name. And if you have some value, then assign value directly, or you can assign it later as well. So here, in this case, int a is equals to, let's say, 10. Okay. Here we don't need semicolons. Int b is equals to 20. C is equals to, now, instead of writing 10 plus 20, I can also write a plus b. What compiler will do is it will automatically replace a and b with their whatever the values are at that point of time. And to print a line on the console, you have println statement or print statement. Print C. Okay. Let me know if we are going like too basic. I'll skip these parts and then we'll start again as well. Okay. Or this is fine.
This is fine, man.
Okay. Because you guys said you have never learn the program. So I'm trying to cover as much basics as possible. Okay. Now here, if you see the output here on the right hand side, the output is 30. That is basically the addition of A plus B. Now, since both of these are from the same data type, I can do, there are different operations as well, like addition, multiplication, subtraction, division. So you can do this greater than, equal to, less than, equal to. So the operators are supported always. See, minus 10. What happens when I try to do this? Okay. Now, what I tried to do was I was trying to assign value which is string. So in a general scenario, whatever comes inside quotes, single or double, is considered as a string. Okay, while assigning those values, I was trying to assign string value to an integer variable, and then I was trying to add it. So what compiler did was it tried to add a string and an integer, which is not possible. So going forward, in many cases, you will see that cannot cast object 10 of string into integer. Now here, it can change whatever according to what you're trying to do. Cannot cast string into boolean, and here other other data types as well. Okay, you will see these kinds of errors. So basically, these are called as typecasting. These things need typecasting. So that's fine. So try to stick to one rule. Whenever you're working with something, try to keep the source and target into the same format or the same data type. So let me, and if you don't know the data type, here we have a keyword def. Okay, define A is equals to this, define B is equals to this. Now what def will do is def will pick up the data type according to the value. So whatever value you give, it will accordingly pick up the data type and assign it to the variable. Now you see this 10, 20. It worked. Why? Now it considered 10 as a string, and then it considered 20 as a string as well. So 10 and then 20. If I do this, the plus operation in string work as concatenation. A string concatenated to B, AB. Then apart from that, you can use your string functions as well. Is equals to println E if you want to print your string. Hello world. Oh, okay. Let me show you. So this has a top to bottom approach. So if you see here, at first I printed E string, that is hello world, and then again C. So that is why the output is like this. Okay. Move it up. Dot. Okay. Now, if you see this, what I did here was I called a replace all function which works with string. As the name suggests, it will replace everything with whatever the data we provide. So if you see in the output, hello world, every H was converted into W. So let me just change an L. It will be more effective. Every L was replaced with a W. Okay, this is called as calling the functions or okay, calling the functions. Now, to call the functions, most of the time you will have to pass some parameters to it. But like these are calling like different programs or different subprograms. For example, if you want to add two numbers, you have to give those two numbers to that program, right? In this case, in replace all function, you have to give what needs to be replaced, okay, and what is the string that it needs to be replaced with. That's basically replace all function. And if you see here, the syntax is e dot replace all. What this means is, I go into more text. Okay. For string e, or for the object, let's consider this an object. For the object e, perform the function replace all. So many times you would see functions, codes like variable slash or variable dot subgroup function. The general scenario for calling a function is variable or the object dot function, and then whatever your parameters are. So this is the general scenario. Okay. Apart from that, there are many other functions, standard functions when it comes to string. You can find n number of functions when it comes to string. So string functions are replace all, string length, then there are different functions for each and every data type or most of the objects as well. Okay, is this clear? You're getting at least how it is going to be.
Yes.
Yes, anyone, any doubt? Are we going slow or something? So let me know, okay? Okay. Let's say I have defined myself a function here. Okay. So there are many keywords here: public and static and string. Then this is the function name, and these are the parameters that are supposed to be coming in. In this case, public is we specify that this process is public. Static is a keyword, okay, which will keep this state that this is a static process call. String is the return type of this whole process function. Like what type of value will it be returned? So if you're returning nothing, you simply type void. If nothing needs to be returned from the function call. And then you have process call name, function name, and in those curly brackets, you will have to write your parameters which are supposed to come in. Here, I'll need two strings, string A, string B. Okay. And inside that function, what I'm doing is simply I'm adding concatenating those two strings. So let me. Okay. I'm concatenating those strings, and return is again a keyword which will return the value to its main function C. Then how do I call this function? Either I can directly call this function because this is static inside the same call. we have some string a comma e. Okay. Okay, execute it. You see, a function was called. Okay, so this part, this thing was executed. After that, process call AE, the program control came here. It executed this line. It executed this line. It executed every other part, and then at the end, it just ended. So here, that's why you see inside function call. Now, why didn't I get a value for C? Okay, so I did get value for C, but I didn't have any container to catch it. So that's why whenever you have return values and you're calling a function, okay, you need to have something. This is going to return something, right? So it should be assigned to something as well. That's why you always have something in the assigning. So okay. Unexpected value from function G. What is G? Yeah. Again, something is missing, and that something is plus icon. Then hello. The value of A and value of variable E. Are you guys getting the process flow? How a program runs from top to bottom? So it comes from the top, it executes. It sees a function call, it goes to that function, executes, come back again, it comes here back. It sees again function call, it goes here, it executes these 4 lines, and then it comes back to G and then executes println, and then main method ends.
Okay.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. I know it sounds a lot of logical, but you need to understand logic first, then the syntax and semantics. Okay. So again, everything will have some syntax, everything will have its own semantics, how you can define something, how you can use something, how you can print something. Okay. So you have to take care of those. In doubt, whenever you're in doubt, just try to refer something or standard documentation, or you can start simply working on your code using this any of the online editors. Now, what we will do is now we will move to the CPI part. How do we use it in